feature, another line, another verse, another day. Good to see y'all again. Welcome back to another episode of Relinquish TV. Thank you for tuning in with us again. This episode is gonna hit on something we spoke about not too long ago about intentions. I know we kind of talked about this with a lot of businesses. Are kind of talking a lot about the initiatives they're making, towards Black Lives Matter and just these initiatives in general, and towards helping out their Black and minority employees. A lot of times it kind of made me think like, so you just now started to say these things? Did you just now realize you had Black employees? And it really brings up the question of, is intentions truly important, or is it just the fact that the actions have been made, is that good enough? So we just kind of want to take our time to today talk about that and share our thoughts. So with you, can I ask you the question, babe? When it comes to intentions, is that important to you, or is the action more important?
I don't think intentions go unnoticed. I think that they absolutely matter, but obviously the action speaks louder. Because it's like if you're not gonna follow through, then your intention doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? For instance, if my employer, or if an employer, a company, I should say, a company reaches out and they're like, yeah, we want to say that we want to have a more inclusive workplace for our employees. But then that's the intention, right? But then they don't have any action, as far as they don't create new policies, they don't change anything as far as their leadership goes to help create that more inclusive environment they intend to have. Then in that case, your intention was crap. It didn't do anything.
Well, let me ask you this: was that truly their intention to improve the work environment for the employees, or was their intention just to make themselves look good, get the heat off their ass?
I mean, probably all the above, but I would think more so it more so looks bad for, I feel like, a company to not say anything than it would for them to say something.
So for you feel like the action is, because me, I'm one of the people I feel like the action itself is more important than the intention. Now, I do believe the intention is very much an important thing, just like you hit on too. I definitely think it is good to know that these actions are coming from a good place. But a lot of times it just makes you think about these companies, if that was your intention, why didn't you do this a long time ago, right? And so a lot of times, yeah, you could say you weren't aware, you didn't know. I think it kind of gets to, it didn't affect your dollar beforehand, but now you feel like it's affecting your dollars, and now you're making these changes. So in a situation like that, do you feel like the company's actions now speaks to their true intentions?
I don't know. I honestly, I think that because of the pressure of the moment, and particularly talking about Black Lives Matters and the racial inequalities within our country, I think that right now, your intention, it definitely was put into light more because of what's going on in our country. But as far as it being something where, genuinely have been wanting to make these changes, but we're just choosing to make them now, no, I think it's exposed now that it's time to make a difference.
Right, and I definitely get that. And I think a lot of times I even have to fight myself in thinking, you're just making this change now because you get caught. But ultimately I have to kind of remind myself of, I'm so worried about their intention behind it. Maybe just be happy that some shit's getting changed. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a hard struggle for me sometimes having to think about that.
Well, I mean, I would even say this, you are the person that always says, I don't expect more from them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's in some ways, I don't really expect more from you. So it's I don't even know that I care as much that it wasn't a genuine intention. I'm just more worried about what are you going to do about it, or what are you doing about it now?
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for instance, if we're talking about for instance, in the confines of our relationship, and we talked about this a little bit, it's some stuff that we've gone through where intention has been good, but at the end of the day, if the action wasn't there, it went unnoticed. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like for instance, in our situation, like we gotta follow through with one another.
Well, let me ask you this: the flip side of that coin is what if there is action done behind it, but the intention wasn't always pure? Let's say, for example, you're like, hey, hey, babe, you know, can you help doing the dishes? And let's say I'm only doing the dishes because for example, I'm only doing dishes to get ass rather than doing dishes because I want the house to be clean.
Okay.
So does that matter?
I mean, I feel like if that, the only way that would be, I would feel like problematic is if Thaddeus was like, well, I'm only gonna ever do dishes if I'm getting ass. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to me, I'm like, okay, well then, that would be a little bit of an issue. Because then it's like, oh, I have to have him do a chore before I reward him. And I'm like, that's not our relationship. That's not how we think. That's not how we want our relationship to be.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think that sometimes I'm like, like play the game with one another. What do you think?
No, I mean it made me think about it too. But I guess it depends upon. I guess in this situation, I do think intentions, or this situation we're talking about, I do think intentions are important because just like you said, like. You should care how I should care how you feel about how the house looks enough to want to do the dishes and do my part, right? But at the other side of that is, I mean, if the dishes are getting done, does it matter how they're getting done?
You kind of lost me on that one.
Well, okay, like for example, you want
because think about it. This is why I say you lost me, because it's like, for instance, if I've done everything around the house, including cooked and did the dishes, and then we also trying to have some us time later, then I'm like, I could easily say I'm too tired because I just did everything by myself.
Touche. That's real though. That's real. That's a good point.
I don't know, but I think the only reason why this type of situation is a little bit hard for us for me to understand, because we don't have a tit for tat relationship.
Yeah, but I think in general though, I do think I'm not gonna say a lot of people do in terms of relationship. I think a lot of times people do things in a tit for tat way, right? Mm-hmm. Like a lot of times people don't do things just because it's the right thing to do. A lot of times people do this. Well, I do this for them because I know they will do it for me.
Okay.
Right? And a lot of times you do get it. And sometimes I'm in a situation like that. Like, if you're like my day one, like, homie, of course I'll do something for you because I know the other day if I needed something, you would have my back. Right? But for somebody else, I might not be as quick to help them out. I'm like, do I really know if you would help me out at a certain time? Right? Okay. And that's just the real honest truth about it. But the thing is, you should honestly just do things that's the right thing to do. And I mean, me and you go back and forth on this all day. I mean, overall, I guess one thing I want to take this time to say, one thing about our videos, I always want people to kind of understand and see, we're not here to try to tell you what the right answer is or what the right way for anything to do is. We're just human beings sharing our thoughts and opinion on things. So in situations like this, please take your time to share your ideas in the comments. Like, our intentions to you really important. Like for example, these companies making changes, does it matter that they're only making these changes because they help out their bottom line? They want to make sure they're getting their money from all aspects of people and from everybody, or are they doing this for that? Or are they doing this because they really truly believe that they've been blinded to things all this time and really truly want to make a change? Or is it a thing of, should we really care and just be happy that things are changing, period? So please, go down in the comments, share with us, engage with us, let us know what you think. Got any final words or thought on this one, babe?
No, I think you covered it.
Okay. Well, other than that, see y'all next time.
See ya.